Vincent van Gogh was an artist that we only today respect and admire, but in his day, he was not enjoyed or even considered an artist worth the time of anyone. What makes an artist recognizable? What makes an artist valuable? What makes an artist an artist? I'm naturally an illustrator, but to be a painter in this century or any century is like finding the wind's breeze across the fields of ambition. I am no painter. Van Gogh, on the other hand, was just before his time, yet lived in a moment with such pain and desire. In this video, I recreate my own interpretation of Vincent van Gogh's self-portrait with the straw hat. He was known for his many brush strokes, vibrant colors, and intense emotions embraced with texture and movement. I want to use my palette knife and tell the same story with movement through the rough slices of the metal knife, leaving an embossed texture to each stroke of color. I will dive into some of his history and art while talking about how I created this piece in this video. If you're a lover of art, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. That'll definitely help me as an artist, not cut off my ear like Vincent van Gogh. So to begin, I take the canvas and I start drawing on it with an 8B pencil. These are bold lines to get the outline and proportions of his character and to replicate it the best I can. And once you do that, you'll be able to paint with oil, and that'll cover up all the lines. So don't worry, go at it and draw like it's a piece of paper. Some history on Vincent van Gogh's life. He was born in 1853 in the Netherlands. He grew up in a modest and religious family. He began painting in his late 20s after various attempts at other careers. His early works were dark, reflective of his somber outlook on life, but then eventually he moved to Paris in 1886. He meets and is influenced by the works of Impressionists like Claude Monet, Georges Seurat, and Post-Impressionists like Henri Lautrec and Paul Gauguin. At age 35, Van Gogh moves to Arles in South France. During this period, he produces some of his most celebrated works, like the one we all know, Starry Night, Sunflowers, and The Bedroom. He also famously cuts off part of his own ear after a confrontation with Gauguin. This is around 1889. Just a year later, Van Gogh voluntarily enters Monastère Saint Paul de Massol asylum for his mental health, which is great that he was aware that he was going a little crazy. His work is masterful and he creates thick layers of oil paint, and here I am mixing some paint with white and some oranges and yellows to create something that would be a perfect kind of backdrop to an acrylic base. And this is what you want to do when you want to create an oil painting. You want to put and rub on or paint on an acrylic base that you can paint on top of, because just painting on normal canvas can leave the white is too strong and your values can get all messy, but you want a medium tone, and I'm choosing this color right here to put on top of my pencil drawing, revealing the pencil behind it to make it easier to know where I drew, but also having this color that's more of a peachy color stand out in case any kind of spots are to be seen behind the oil once I start painting. Plus it applies easier from oil onto acrylic. Any acrylic will work. You can use white and mix it with any other color, whatever you would like, but this is the easiest way to do it I have found, and this color base really brings out a perfect medium tone for me in my paintings. Now I'm choosing some oil paint colors, some bases. I have a lot here, and you don't need all this. Actually, you just need the primaries and you can mix them in. But I have these available, so I'm going to go ahead and use them. And I'm going to put out all these different yellows for his hat. I'm going to use the reds and the oranges for his skin tones and other parts of his hat as well. And then the purples for the shadows and the darks under his eyes and some of the other areas, as well as the red for his clothing and the blues for the backdrop. After Van Gogh spent some time in the asylum, he eventually leaves and moves to a village near Paris under the care of Dr. Paul Gachet. He produces somewhere around over 70 paintings in just over 2 months, including Wheat Field with Crows and the Church of Reves. Now, this is phenomenal for an artist to create that many art pieces in such a short amount of time. I'm not Van Gogh. This is going to take me some time, and he probably produced 2 a day. Well, that matters, but this one is going to take me, a couple days. I think that his technique allows him to move fast since it's very forward and rough, and it's definitely got these big brush strokes in there. He's not blending them in all perfectly to get perfect forms and values everywhere. He's letting the painting feel like it's moving. It's in some kind of motion at all times, and that's I think why we are attracted to A Starry Night, because it feels like painting is always moving at any angle we're looking at it, or any time of our life that we're trying to view it and interpret it. And it's kind of interesting to think of Van Gogh feeling like he was an appreciated artist and his artwork wouldn't be sold, where today the Starry Night is housed at MoMA, Museum of Modern Art in New York, and is valued to estimate about $100 million if to be sold. And that's pretty crazy. And each one of his paintings are now valued at millions and millions of dollars if it were to be sold. And to think of the amount of pain and struggle he had as an artist in those days, and maybe possibly you are feeling like you have today with your own art, just remember that you don't have to cut off your ear, and you may not feel appreciated, but your art has value and will always have value, whether you like it or not. It just takes sometimes time, and it takes sometimes the right people to view it. But your art, like yourself, are extremely valuable and always will be. So enjoy the process. Enjoy playing and learning and growing and building your creative world through paint and art and illustration. And don't worry about being somebody in this world, because it could take a couple centuries. But if you're enjoying it, then you've already won. You've already succeeded. Now, I know this painting isn't a grandmaster like Van Gogh's, but I am enjoying every bit of it. Putting his beard, being precise with his eyes, and trying to get this to have, this bold look. Changing up some of the color schemes for him. This is a dark green, evergreen pupil I'm putting in there. I think it goes great in contrast to the yellows and the oranges that are surrounding it. And especially when I put the blue backdrop, it should really make him pop out. Right now I'm just, trying to get in there and put a little bit of highlights, but also make sure it's still dark enough. And one of my favorite things to do is just play with the oils, because it's just a lot of fun. I use a plastic palette to scrape the paint on, and that's because it's easier to scrape it. If you use wood, it stains it and it's not so easy. Some people enjoy it. Glass is nice too. In order to get this thick beard look, as well as have it look three-dimensional, I'm scraping with the edge of the palette knife in order to create kind of hairs, but I'm also laying on thick layers on top of the other colors without pressing too hard. It's a scrape and it's a flat push lay on top, so it just falls off onto the beard. As for the background, I'm laying the first basic layer of the blue on top of this the peach color, and letting it shine through just slightly to make it feel like this image was done with kind of a rush to get the image on there. And as for his shirt, I'm putting more of a darker ruby color, almost crimson, leaving it to be something that's a contrast to the blue background, of course. Where the original painting had a blue, he was wearing blue as his clothing, I'm going to go with the red. I think that works better. I enjoy it. And plus, this is how I interpret it. Now I'm going to throw in a brighter, more vibrant red to kind of give texture to the clothing, as if it has wrinkles and kind of has movement to it. I also made his shirt red because of The Color of Blood, from the idea that he shot himself in 1890. Why he did that, we don't know. But the guy was going through some stuff. But I wanted to kind of show that on the clothing. Instead of just doing a gunshot wound, I just rather have his shirt represent the fact it looks red and dyed with the color of blood. Creepy, but cool. And I kind of layer on top some blue, so it kind of feels like the backdrop of the sky is reflecting onto the clothing. Now for creating the second layer of the backdrop, the blues that are going to go on top of it to kind of bring it in and build some depth to the background. And I'm using some greens and blues to merge together, but I'll merge it with a slight bit of black for the top left of the painting, and some whites to also bring those colors together and dull them out a little bit. I don't want the colors to be overpowering to Van Gogh. They should be not vibrant, they should be dull and flat almost. As you see right now, the blues are just already too overpowering. So I'm just going in here with some lighter blues and creating texture and allowing the eyes to focus more on Van Gogh's hat and his beard and his gaze upon you. I'm angling most of my brush strokes at different angles, but I'm also not doing any swirly strokes, like not doing any curves. They're mostly just straight flat strokes onto the painting. And I'm being lighter and lighter. I'm pushing it on there with the different colors I'm putting on, trying not to blend them in. But you can see sometimes here they get blended in, but I'm re-scraping them off and building more texture. Now to apply some blue reflections and color to the red. This will definitely also take away all the focus on his clothing and stuff and being overpowering, and let the viewer view his face more. And then taking a thin layer of the blue and making his lips more prominent in the dark under his eyes. Kind of looks like me, with no sleep. And for the final touch, just gotta sign my name, so that way if it sells for $57 million, that will come to me. Sorry, Van Gogh. And here's the final painting. Self-portrait of Vincent van Gogh in a straw hat, done by me. I really like this one. This piece really came together quite well with all the different textures and layering with the palette knife. I think it's my favorite way to paint. And I think that the person who has this in their house will feel like it's got a lot of work to it and a lot of representation of Van Gogh's original piece in it. Now, obviously, Van Gogh's piece is 1,000 times better, but for me, just going at an oil painting and having fun, I'm proud of this piece. Alright everybody, this is it. This is my painting of Van Gogh, reinterpretation of this image, and I enjoyed it. This was all done by a palette knife, which was fantastic and fun to do. This is my second palette knife painting, which was my first was this one here, which the people who wanted this painting actually saw this and go, hey, Josh, can you kind of do this style with a Van Gogh portrait? And I was like, yeah, let's try. So that's what we got here. This was very fun. I really enjoyed it. It's really good. So if you get a chance to use a palette knife and then have fun with oil paint, go for it. It doesn't take as much oil paint as you think to create something like this. And Van Gogh is a great study to practice from because his lines are just, you know, dashes on there, and he uses different colors to kind of bring things together. Lots of fun, very fun. But yeah, if you like this video and you want to see more of my art, please like and subscribe to the channel. I also have a great Discord with a great amount of artists that are in there just encouraging each other, showing each other's work. You know, got everyone from, you know, illustration to you know, colored and ink and everything there. So please join. The link will be down below. And I also have an Instagram and a Patreon. You can support me in that way. So thank you guys for watching. And hey, go paint something if you like painting. And if you're creative, go create. See you next time.